Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Karen Chisholm, and I'm an advanced director, and I'm actually underneath Yolanda Easton. And tonight, you guys, we are going to be talking about prospecting on the go. So I like interactive. I like talking with my hands a lot. If you have any questions as I go through anything, please let me know. Just kind of jump in there and ask the question. That's what I do. So first of all, I do want to talk about a little bit about last week, okay? So many of us were on the call. Many of us didn't make the call. So if you didn't make the call, okay, as we know, these calls are being recorded, so you can watch them after. What we're kind of asking you to do is, watch them in about 48 hours after the call, just so you can know what's going on and so you can accomplish that particular piece of homework or something that we're asking you to do. And on Friday, I will be posting a vitamin, and that hopefully will give you a little bit of motivation to continue in the week and a little bit of inspiration as well. So that's kind of the gist of, I guess, kind of our program, how we're going to be working it every week, right? Okay, so last week, many of us had different goals, and we all shared our goal. If you haven't shared it on the Facebook page, I did post something asking everyone to do it just because I love reading them. I think it's so great. And I think it's such an accomplishment to even be on the call. So everybody give yourselves a woohoo because you all made it to the call last week, or you made it to the call this week, or you listened to the call, right? These are all little steps of things. It's called, you can take 5 every day and take that 5 minutes and do a little bit about your business. So this is a piece of that. Okay, so if you met your goal last week, so say for instance, whatever you set it up to be, if it was 5 calls for last week to make contacts and you made it. I know I was talking with Ashley earlier. I'm so proud of her. She set a goal to do 5 contacts a week and she had 6 and I think even more. So congratulations to her. So if you made your goal, chime in real quick and I'll give a couple of minutes so we can all give you some recognition for that. So share a goal and tell us if you accomplished it or not.
I was able to get 1 catalog show started, and I have 1 set up for October 1st. So
very good.
I got a couple of shows out of talking to people.
Very good, very good.
I'm so excited.
Congratulations. That is, see, it's a little bit of a motivation. That's perfect. Little goals. So next, anybody else? Share. Come on, Kathy. I see your name next. What did you do?
Oh, well, I didn't quite make my goal.
Okay.
A lot of trouble connecting.
Okay.
And I'm working harder on, I'm revamping my list and starting over this week.
Perfect. So this call will help you with some of that stuff, right?
Right.
Get new contacts and where to go with that. So it's perfect. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else want to share with us?
I had a goal of trying to reach 15 people.
Okay.
I'm the one that has problems calling people. Gives me complete anxiety, so I did it all on Facebook. I only heard back from about 5 people. I got 1 person who added an order to a show but wasn't interested in having a show. And I have 1 tentative party for within the next couple weeks.
That's awesome, though. Right?
So
that order you wouldn't have had, I know, spirit fingers, because you wouldn't have had that order before without you getting on the phone and talking to them or through Facebook. And like I know Katie was talking, I mean, we all have issues with the phone. Trust me, I do as well. And I think Dina was perfect on the idea that I think because we already are hearing the no, right? And of course, but we don't know if it's a no. And all we need to do is do it. And I tell you right now, even on sometimes with Facebook messages, when I message people on Facebook, because I'll even tell you how bad it gets sometimes for me, I won't even want to look at their response yet. Until I'm like, is it going to be a yes or is it going to be a no? So I think we all have problems with objection and rejection, but if we always have to remember that it's not a no right now, and it's not to us personally. That it's just maybe a no right, it's just a no right. How can I say this? It's just not a no right now. That's what I'm saying. So not a no ever. So if that makes sense, I just repeat that. Anyways, anyone else?
I'll go.
Yes, Kelly.
My biggest challenge is that most of the people I know are not even on the same continent as I am. I'm from Hawaii originally, so my sphere is all in Hawaii. And so getting people to book stuff is a little challenging when you're not able to do some face-to-face. But I do have 2 tentative cooking shows, 1 tentative catalog show, and 1 tentative online show, just trying to get them to confirm dates and times. And in order to try and drum up some more contacts where I could actually drive and do cooking shows, I established a cooking page on Facebook. So I called it the Pampered Kitchen. So that's what I've done this week. So
Very good, though. I know, spirit fingers. We love that. That's awesome. You're definitely moving forward. And isn't it exciting when you actually are doing something with your business? I think that to me is so awesome. So, okay. So thank you guys for sharing. I just kind of wanted to do, again, a great job, everyone, even the ones who have not shared. But I think that just a little bit at a time it's always get us there. I know Katie loved to post a little drip that we learned from Rory Vaden last year doing the director segment. That, you know, if you have a bucket just sitting there and that water is just constantly drip, drip, dripping, that bucket will become full. So all you have to do is work a little bit at your business a day, and I will guarantee you your business will become full. You will have a full calendar. You will start recruiting. You will start it. So as long as you need to do is just take action. That's the biggest thing. Okay, so let's move on. All right. So we are doing prospecting and booking away from the shows. It is kind of become my little niche. I do like to do a lot of it. I am an extroverted person, but it does sometimes take me a little bit to kind of talk to them. So one of the things about being out and about on the go that I think is the first thing you need to do is that you need to have logo wear. Okay, so if you can see what I am wearing, okay, so a nice shirt with some logo on it is always a great thing. So I'm going to hit several different tips of what you can do and different ways to do it and different things that I've done that I've seen work and things that you're going to hear over and over again, okay? So, and how I kind of approach some things that are differently as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to go through a couple of these things that I want to hit on it. Okay, so what is the importance of prospecting? Okay, so I'm going to reverse. So why do we think it's important to do this? Anyone? 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 Okay, so why is it important to prospect? Because we run out of contacts, right? So a lot of times, I'm sorry? Amber? Someone said something? Okay. So we run out of contacts, and so we learn sometimes there's something called our power booking, and of course asking the same 10 people. When you start asking the same 10 people, those 10 people tend to ignore you, okay? And it's not because now that they don't want to answer you, but of course they're ignoring you because you've talked to them every month, and you have, you've talked to them every month, and you're not booking shows. So I've talked to some consultants at times, and we talk about that stuff. They're like, I can't book a show. I can't get any sales. I can't do this. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? And they're like, well, my list. I'm like, well, who is on your list? And, you know, of course they show me. And I'm like, well, is this the same list we had last week? Yes. So you're calling the same 10 people every single week. I would run away too. I mean, we get telemarketers calling us all the time. What do? We avoid their call. Okay, so what do we have to do? We have to prospect. We have to tell people. Even if we have a full calendar, we need to still tell people because it can still get more and more shows booked, you know? And once we start building a team, we can help those team members by maybe giving them some of our shows if we're too full. So, and never could be too full. But so that's the reason why it is important to prospect. Plus, it is important because you want to share this business with everyone. If there is what, a gazillion, I know in my little town of Homa, we probably have around 100,000 people, okay? And so those people have homes. Now, I have not done 100,000 shows in the 2 years I've been here. So I need to be in every kitchen is how I see it. So if you look at your town, wherever you are, and you're kind of like, wow, you know what, I have a big town. I don't have any shows, or where's my customers? I'm running out of customers. So, well, there you go. You know there is 500,000 homes in your area, and you need to be in every single house. So you have some work to do, and that's the importance of prospecting. Also, we have a wonderful service to offer, right? Who doesn't like free stuff? Who doesn't want to know how to cook healthy in 30 minutes? Who doesn't want to have I'm trying to remember how she called it, a super fast, easy show with sangrias. I mean, to me, that is amazing. I totally want to be there. So those are definitely, this is another reason why we prospect. Okay, so how and when and where to prospect. So when is a good idea, or when is a good place, or when is a good time to prospect? What do y'all think?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay. I think, I don't know if this is like what you're meaning by prospecting. I kind of joined the call a little late,
Oh, it's
a few
okay.
minutes late, but vendor booths?
Yes, vendor booth. Excuse me. That is correct. You can, as a prospecting event or a prospecting environment, that is definitely an area. So when do we prospect though? Is it all the time? Right? So there's no perfect time to prospect. We prospect every single day that we walk out of the house. Okay, so the definition of prospecting is to look out for, to search for. Another one is, again, to search for deposits in a place, especially by means of experimental drilling. But yeah, so the one we're looking for is looking out for and searching for. Okay, so we always are looking for, we're looking for customers. We're always looking to share the opportunity. We're always looking to share our service. Okay, so when, anytime, where, everywhere, okay? Everywhere is where you go. I mean, anywhere you go is where you go. So the biggest question, because you guys are probably sitting there going, okay, everywhere I go, got it. I go to work, I can do it. I go to the grocery store, I probably can do it. I go to the post office, I can do it. Where else we go? Gymnastics, maybe with the kids, swim team with the kids, baseball with the kids, basketball, cheerleading, blah, all these events, band with the kids, school with the kids. All of those areas are where to prospect. So the one thing that you're probably looking at is how, okay? Now let's get you the how. Okay, so I had you all print out those drawing slips, and so hopefully you did. And the reason why I wanted you to do it now is because now after the call, you cut them up and you start using them. And the reason why I did that is because many times we feel like it has to be perfect timing. So when, like for instance, when I started hearing about pampering a business, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a Pampered Chef consultant and I own another business. I don't really have a whole bunch of time to be baking brownies or baking something and bringing it to a business 3 times a week because I needed more contacts. I just moved back to my hometown 2 years ago and I knew no one here. And the friends I did have here didn't want to do shows. So I have a philosophy. Friends won't ever get you in anywhere in your business. Okay? They'll help you maybe for a couple of shows, but they will not sustain your business. So I have people who I tell them straight up right in front, that right whenever they do their first show, I'm like, if your friend books, so awesome. But I'm going to tell you, it's not them that's going to sustain your business. It is all the people that are outside your circle that will get you more bookings and continue your business. Okay. I love my friends. They do support me in so many different ways. They're totally my biggest cheerleaders, but they can't do parties for me. And I'm okay with that. Okay, so the vendor event or the little drawing slip you did. So again, as I was talking about pampering a business. So what I did to that idea is I kept blowing it up in my head, thinking that everything had to be perfect. I had to have the perfect drawing slip. Like Dina would always show us the Post-it notes that were on top of our mini catalogs. I felt like everything had to be perfect before I can go out and prospect. And it just overloaded me so much. So I had to let go of all that. And I had to say, you know what? I'm not going to make 10 contacts today unless I just do it. Take action. So anytime that I'm out and about, I'll either have those drawing slips. I'm sorry, my dog. I'll either have those drawing slips or I'll have anything. I'm just there. So again, when we're talking about prospecting, remember to be there, meaning that be a consultant, be intentional. That if you're out and about and you're seeing someone my vehicle has my name on it, all 3 sides, on the back and the 2 sides. I had a guy, I walked out of the post office the other day. He was in his car waiting, and I'm like, oh, I know what he wants. He wants a catalog. So I walk up, and he rolls down his window, and he was like, hey, you're a Pampered Chef consultant. I was like, yes, I am. He's like, can I have your information and get a catalog? I said, you sure can. Guess what? I didn't have a drawing slip. Guess what? I didn't have a Post-it note. But you know what I did have? I had a back of a receipt. And you know what I did? I folded it up to a nice clean area that I could find. And I actually said, let me get your name and information right here. I'm sorry I don't have a drawing slip, but this is all I have. Is it okay? And he was like, of course it is. I don't care. Just get their information. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. And like Dina was telling us the other day, practice doesn't make perfect. It makes improvement. Okay. And that's all we're looking for here. We're looking for improvement, and we're looking for contacts. We're prospecting out there. Okay. So I got his information. We got some orders going on from him. Okay. So how? Still, we're on the how. Okay. So when you're out in the grocery store, or when you're out and about, and you see somebody that you want to approach, you can do it in several different ways. You can kind of stop them. Grocery stores to me are always the easiest, just because I can stop them and say, oh, look at that. You have some really nice, or hey, look at that. You have that big old chicken. What are you going to do with that whole chicken? Or, oh my God, I can't believe the grocery store had those whole chickens for like 67 cents a pound. Isn't that amazing? You know what I do with my whole chicken? I can put the whole chicken and put it in our rock or a deep covered baker. Go ahead and lather that up with, some garlic rub. I can throw it in the microwave for 30 minutes and dinner's done. Oh my God, isn't that awesome? And of course, they usually will say, yeah. Now, of course, they probably will look at you a little kind of crazy. So don't take that as something bad. I usually just say, my name is Karen. I'm a Pampered Chef consultant, and I love to cook. That's kind of why I just noticed that you had this big old chicken. And then I usually say something along the lines of like, hey, you know what? I've just been challenged by my director to get 10 contacts today. Would you mind taking this recipe or this mini catalog and giving me your information? And they usually do. And that's what I do. And I will do that over and over again, all through whatever grocery store, Walmart, Target, wherever I'm at, throughout the course of the day. And it is really easy. A lot of people like to talk, and then they like to talk about themselves. So you ask them that. Say, you know what, I see you have a couple of pounds of chicken or a couple of pounds of beef. What are you cooking with that tonight? And then we end up telling you, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds so cool. Have you ever heard of Pampered Chef? And I just kind of start talking to them about it. Okay, so that's how I prospect.
Hey,
Other
Karen,
way.
for just 1 second.
Yep, good.
Sorry. So, guys, some other verbiage that I used, especially when I was in Okinawa, the buy-sell trade pages were really, really big over there. So anytime I ever picked up something or dropped something off, I would always just let them know, hey, I'm a Pampered Chef consultant. I'm building contacts in this area. Or if we had just moved or if you just became a consultant, I'm still building my contacts. Do you mind if I get your information and add you to my email newsletter? And most people just love to hear updates and little recipes and things like that, especially from a company so reputable as Pampered Chef. So that's just some other verbiage that you might be able to use.
Correct. And what I usually even follow with the idea about the newsletter, I usually say it comes straight from the company, only once a month. And like she said, and it's full of tips and a recipe and just amazing stuff. How does that sound? And some solutions and things. How does that sound? And they usually always say that. Yep, that's great. I haven't had a no for that in a while. So, and if they do say no, you can even say, well, would you like to take this recipe still? And, make sure your information is all on that recipe. Anything you are handing out, make sure you stamp or put a label with your information on it. Never, never, never try to give out something that doesn't have your label on it. Okay, so other things. So moving on from the how to do it, then the challenge that we will have tonight for you guys or gals is to do the mini catalog challenge. Okay, so many of us, if you received your changeover kit, you received 10 you received a pack of mini catalogs, right? 25 catalogs?
No.
No?
Oh, catalogs, yeah. Not mini catalogs.
No, not the minis that come in y'all's? Okay, I didn't know what was coming.
The
Okay,
mini ones only had one.
just the one? Okay, that's true. Okay, I guess that's what it is. I ordered those already. Okay, so go backwards then. All right, so then let's do recipes then. So instead of that, say recipes. So you can print out whatever you want. To me, it's always nice to print out the rush hour chicken because it's chicken fajitas. That's all it is. It's a super fast, simple recipe. But look at your area. If you find that your area that you live in like a certain type of recipe or like something, then go ahead and print that one out. Desserts, of course, desserts or something fast. Those are the two big things to me. Chicken and desserts. But you want to give them something that they can look at it and say, oh, wow, that looks good. Or, oh, yeah, I make that. And to me, everybody makes tacos. So I always go with something that's a fajita. I'm not going to print out something that's like risotto, and no one ever make that kind of thing. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you're going to put these 10, and if you want to even challenge yourself more, you can do 20, right? So this is a week. So this is for tomorrow all the way to Monday, and you have to complete your 10 recipes challenge. Okay, so you're going to put them in your bag. And again, you want to make sure that the drawing slip is either attached to the recipe, okay? So you can staple it, you can paper clip it, however you want to it, but you want those to be together. And the reason why is because when you meet that person and you're talking to them, you don't want to have to be kind of, again, fumbling, looking for wherever you put that piece of paper. And in this way, if you have them together already, your situation is perfect. You're not sitting here like kind of stressing about the idea going, okay, am I going to have, where's my recipe, or where's this, or where's that in my pen? So if everything's already together for you, you're ready to go out there and prospect. Okay, so when you're out and about and you're stepping out of your comfort zone, make sure you strike up a conversation with the people around you, okay? And we just talked about that. So if you're at the grocery store, it's the easiest way. If you're at Target picking up something, in line, it's always, again, super easy because you're right there in line with people. If you're at your kids' events, again, really easy because you're right there next to somebody. And find something that's in common, okay? Because that's the biggest thing. So if you're, again, sitting with your kids at the ballpark or, well, baseball's over. But if you're about to go into like gymnastics or band or anything like that, you know, you can strike up a conversation about school. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy that my kids are in school now. I can finally get back to a routine, you know, that kind of thing. And then you build on that. So when we're talking about prospecting too, one of the things that we're developing is a relationship, okay? Don't be surprised that nothing at the moment comes from this. Meaning as in, they're not going to turn around and go, oh my God, I need to buy a double burner grill pan. Here's $280. Order it now, okay? It's not, I mean, if it does, let me know because I'm going to give you some spirit fingers all day long, right? But I mean, I would be like, oh gosh, yes, awesome. But if it doesn't happen, it's okay. You're developing a relationship. And that's the point. We're networking, we're prospecting, we're just connecting with people. And that's a huge piece of our business is connecting, right? Okay. So then also what we're doing is we're getting their phone number. And a lot of times what they're going to ask you is, what do you need? Well, what do you want me to write on this paper? Well, if you can just give me your name, maybe a contact number, and an email address. Okay, that sounds good. And then from there, you can just put them on their newsletter. And you can contact them once a month, or you can contact them once a quarter. You know what I'm saying? As you go through your list of contacts with your power, if you do a power booking, or if you do a power binder, or a power hour, you can go through your list of contacts that way. And we'll talk about all that stuff if you guys don't know. Okay, so striking up conversations. We're building relationships. So find something in common with somebody. Talk about that. Then lead into that you're a Pampered Chef consultant. All right, your goal is to say the 5 magic words, okay? So when you're talking with them through the conversation, the 5 magic words you want to say is, I'm with the Pampered Chef. And why do we say these magic words? Because what comes out of their mouth? Usually.
Oh, I love Pampered Chef.
That is exactly right. And that's what we love to hear. The 3 Great words. I love Pampered Chef. And that means you got it. All right. So now we get their information because everybody loves Pampered Chef. So then we get their information and we pull out that recipe. Okay. So you don't have to walk around with the recipe. You can. I've done that many times too. If I'm in the grocery store, I'm walking around with the recipe and I'm trying to show it to people, not like in their face, but just kind of maybe like leaving it definitely open where people can eye it. Okay, so then after they say, I love the Pampered Chef, you can say, well, that's great. And take out the recipe. Well, you know what? I have a recipe here. Would you like it? And of course, they normally say yes. And you say, I love this recipe. It is rush hour fajitas. It is so easy. I can put dinner on the table in like less than 30 minutes. I mean, we're talking about 12 minutes here. We're all eating at the table. It is phenomenal, okay? And it's healthy, and it's gluten-free if that's kind of your diet that you're looking for. And it's totally paleo as well, if that's something that you follow as well. And normally that's just kind of one of the ways, and they're like, okay, that's awesome. And then, of course, get their information, because why? Your information sheet will be stapled or paper clipped or somehow attached to that recipe. So when you give them the recipe, you can say, oh, and go ahead and put your name here and go ahead and fill out your phone number and your email address. And I'll go ahead and add you to our newsletter. It comes straight from the company, and it has tons of tips and amazing recipes and just some great solutions that are out there. That sounds great. Awesome. Perfect. And then take that. Well, it was so nice meeting you, Susie. I will definitely be giving you a call this week. And we'll talk more about maybe even getting you a party so you can get some free products. How does that sound? And normally they're just like, oh, yeah, okay, awesome, that sounds great. And you just go on your way. Again, you're just building a relationship, and you're getting face-to-face time with people, and you're building that trust in that person. Because once you develop that trust, that's when they'll book the show, and that's when they'll order, and those are the things that will come after. So, okay. So in our little book, and I really like this, so I was just kind of reading this, it says, here's a little script that you can say. It says, it's part of my job to give away 10 of these every week, and I'd love to give one to you. If you take a minute and just fill this out, I can give you a call back when you have more time, right? Because we don't want to sit there in the grocery store and talk to them all day long. Everybody has something to do. So I'll say it again. It's part of my job to give away 10 of these every week, and I'd love to give this one to you. If you take a minute and just fill out this, I can give you a call back when you have more time. And I can type that up and put it on our Facebook page too. So just remember, when it's stapled or connected to that recipe, you're already having it right there, and they know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So as your prospect is filling out your drawing slip or your customer care information, whatever you call it, that's when you can also begin a conversation with them. You can ask them either, however you feel, whatever your next question is, about the groceries in their basket, or you can just say, well, when was the last time were you at a show? And now answer, what is your favorite product? And do you have a Pampered Chef consultant? I know that was a big one when I was in Okinawa, because I knew how many people were on island. So I'd always start with the idea that, do you have a local Pampered Chef consultant? Why, no, I don't. Oh, well, awesome. And especially at a vendor event, that's one of the things I like to do as well, because I just don't want to step on people's toes. So I always ask them that. So then while they're doing that, kind of remember what they're saying. So when they give you back that customer care card, you can write all that information down, especially if they say what their favorite product was. Because if they say, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. If they say like maybe one of the stoneware pieces, you can recommend the deep covered baker if they don't have it. Or if they even say one of the stoneware pieces, you can recommend the rock crock. Or if they're talking about maybe a spatula or something, then you can recommend another piece to that. If they go with like the micro cooker, which I have people who love the micro cooker, you can say, oh my gosh, we have a brand new, whenever I talk to you on the phone, this is mentally things that you can say to yourself. So when you talk to them on the phone, you can bring up the idea that we have a new micro cooker that was added to the collection. And these are just the kind of the ways to get them to get them to want to buy, to either want to buy a product or want to host a party. That's what I want to say. Excuse me. Okay, so this one says the results will amaze you. 7 out of 10 will give the slip back to you with their information filled in. I've had 10 to 10. I mean, I hadn't really had anyone say no to me. So I think that to me, this is a very successful thing to do. Especially when we were out and about doing pampering businesses. I always have people give me the slips back. Now we hear no's and we move on. But we do have a really great success rate with this. And like I said, to me, it's the next part of it, which is the follow-up. You know, so when you're following up, just make sure that you do follow up. That's the biggest thing, is to follow up. So now when you're going out and about, make sure, again, when I talked about logo wear a while ago, make sure you're wearing logo wear. Make sure if you don't have logo wear on that you're just, you know, dressed to impress or dressed to be professional. That's what I want to say. And when I mean impressed, I mean just dressed to, when you approach that person, they're like, whoo, okay, awesome. She was professional. He was professional. I really want to do business with that person. I loved one time Shay had kind of trained us talking about wear something that kind of makes them remember you. So like Shay loves to wear like a necklace or something that would make them kind of go like, oh yeah, you know, and so then they have something to remember you by. Oh, maybe it was a beautiful green necklace or something. What was I saying? Oh, so just make sure you're something professional. I know like sometimes if I'm out and about, coming from our other job, and it's very hot in that metal building and I have sweated and I look horrible, and I'm not talking about Pampered Chef. I will not. I will go to the grocery store and get something and go right back. And I will not mention Pampered Chef because I look atrocious. I probably smell bad. I stink, you know. And we always talk about this kind of stuff. I know Ashley says things like, you know, sometimes if she has her 2 kids with her or the kids with her and they're screaming and they're going crazy, she's probably not going to ask someone about Pampered Chef at that moment. You know, it's kind of where if you're by yourself and you're heading to the grocery store or Target or wherever you're going, that's the time to do it. And I used another word, and last year it was a big word for me, and it's being intentional. That's the word, intention, okay? So be intentional with your business, meaning that if I'm going to the dentist today, I'm grabbing 3 catalogs. So I'm putting them in my purse already. I have a mobile bag on the go ready at all times. If you don't, I would highly recommend getting one. And if we need to go, if you need to see what a mobile bag means, I can post a video of one of the directors who has one and kind of has a really nice video about it. I'll post that on our page. Yes, go ahead.
Karen,
Yes.
do you ask them if you can leave the catalogs in the dentist office? Or
I do
you
not.
just leave them?
I just leave them. Yeah, because they have like a little, you know, where all the little catalogs are, and magazines. I just drop them right there, and they're usually the old ones. And so, like my labels on it says, you know, this may be an old catalog. Contact me for something for free or something like that. So yeah, but I usually always bring several catalogs with me anywhere I go. So, good question. When have I asked? Yeah, I don't think I have ever asked anybody if I can. So, lost my train of thought too on that one. Okay, so other ways to do things. I was trying to find my book and I just kind of packed it away and I don't know why, and now I can't find it. But there is a book and it's called The Lemonade Lady. And she is, oh man, I can't tell you. Hold on, I'm gonna get it. And so anyways, so what it's called is called When You Run Out of Contacts, something about, hold on, I'm going to get it. I'm going to post it on the site. So don't worry about it because I'm going to make sure I have this the right way. Anyway, so I bought this book and it's really, gives you some amazing ideas. And it's basically when you run out of family, it's where to find your next contacts at. And that's kind of where we all are. And it goes through just simple things, kind of like taking your name, right, and spelling out your name, and then putting, so like for instance, if mine's Karen, the first one is K. So where am I going to find prospects that start with a K? Maybe my kids' clubs, you know, or my kids' events. Okay, so from there, I'm going to write 5 names that I might or it's brand new, school just started, I may not have any names with that one. But now I'm looking for prospects in my kids' clubs. So A, okay, what starts with A? Anybody can think of anything that I can find a prospect that starts with an A? I would say Aldi, but I don't have one around here. It could be maybe, I'm just thinking of like an association. Maybe I'm just going with like a homeowners association. So I don't have a homeowners association either, but that could be a good place. Your board or whomever is on that homeowners association. Are realtors. That's a huge thing for some of us. We can work with realtors. So if you're not working with your realtors, I know Connie Flora had posted a nice, wonderful picture of like a basket full of stuff for realtors. There's all kinds of realtor sets out there. To me, that's perfect. You move into a place, what is not the best gift is a Pampered Chef item. So get with your realtors, and I'm sure there's tons of real estate agencies in every city. So contact them, get into their sales meetings. That's easy. That's how you do that. How do you get into a realtor's in their faces? Get into their sales meetings. They have them either once a week or once a month. Every agency does. So, okay. And I had a girl who just asked me, because she's my hairstylist as well, and Cutco actually came and presented at theirs. So they are looking for gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge one. R. Okay, E. Ooh, E.
Entertainment.
Entertainment?
Yeah, when you and your husband go out on dates.
Yep, there you go.
Restaurants or anything like that, you can always leave your business cards or anything behind.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so, and then N. Neighbors. If you haven't talked to your neighbors yet, this is a great way to talk to your neighbors. Do some sort of open house and have your neighbors all come over, okay? So right there, I had 5 different ways to find somebody. So do that every week. If you're sitting down, and I know some of us are like, okay, well, we'd work full time. Okay, well then if your name has 5 letters, then go with 1 letter a week, or go with 1 letter a day and find one person that matches up or that fits into that part, or that little like category. That's what I want to say, that category. Okay, so vendor events. Vendor events are huge, huge, huge ways to prospect. If you're looking for ways to find a vendor event, just Google. Okay, Craigslist, Chamber of Commerce. I Google fairs and festivals.net. I was paying $35 a month to get a list of those. That's fine because it's a write-off. I don't do it here. I was doing it in Tampa because there were so many. I don't do it here because we find out everything is like totally broadcast everywhere, like all over the radio here. I listen to the radio. I hit all their Facebook pages. If you get on Facebook and you just type in vendor events and your state, I guarantee you they'll pop up. I can put in Louisiana vendor events and they pop up. There's so many groups out there that have connections to these things. And then of course you don't want to always search vendor event because that sometimes doesn't get you what you want. So craft shows, and there's fairs and festivals are usually like the keys or the key phrases that I use to find many vendor events for that too. But Chamber of Commerce is always a great thing, and they're usually pretty inexpensive. And then while you're there, people do different things. I've done a lot. I've done home shows, and I've just done the little craft shows. So I find that, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I find that if I cook something, it's not as successful as just talking to people. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times if I'm cooking or giving away something, I don't have a lot of people come to my table who are very interested or serious. So sometimes when I don't offer anything, that's usually when I get the people who are like quality people, if that makes sense. So, but play it either way, whatever your vendor event. Sometimes they want you to cook something. Sometimes they want you to give away something. So you just need to ask them if there's something in particular that you need to do. Okay, pampering a business. I do pampering a business once a week. And with my pampering a business, all we do is we go out and, like I said, I try not to make it stressful. So let me show you what I did. I have this basket. Y'all can see it. And I have, these are all the places I gotta go. I have these little baggies. And I talked about this at conference, but I wanted to give you guys a visual. Can you see that? Okay. So my stamps in there. And then here's a little rub. Not even a bunch, right? And these little bitty baggies, okay? So I fill these up, right? And these are all filled in here. That's all those. Okay. So I go to my vendor or I go into a place and we like to call it Working Women Wednesday. So we always went out on a Wednesday. And that's not the right one. Oh well, I don't have any of the drawing slips in here. My coworker who helps me out has some. And so we go into a business and even if it says no solicitation, we still go, okay? Because we're not selling anything at the time. No selling at all. We're just there to pamper you. So we'll just walk in. And a lot of times what we'll do is before we go on Facebook that morning, we will post, oh my gosh, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, or oh my gosh, it's Nurses Technician Week. We are out and about today at Working Women Wednesdays. Who would like to be pampered? And our feed will be like, or we'll say like, tag them in this post. And that tags will be like, boom, 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 boom. And then we'll just start hitting that list. And we'll say, okay, Lisa, where do you work? Okay, I work at Family Clinic on the East Side. Or, hey, Susie, where do you work? I work at the Ochsner Hospital. Okay, great, in Thibodeau. So then we'll start going to these places. And when we walk in, we're looking for that name. And so if we know she's on 3rd floor at the hospital, we just kind of walk into the 3rd floor and we're like, we're looking for Susie Robichaux. And they'll say, okay, she's down the street or she's down the hall or wherever. So we walk in and we'll say, Susie Robichaux, hey, this is Karen with Pampered Chef, and I'm here to pamper you. How are you doing today? And they're like, what? Oh, yeah. Jenny on Facebook tagged you this morning because it's Nurses Week, and we so appreciate you guys working so hard all the time, and we just want to pamper you. How does that sound? That sounds great. Well, guess what? Fill out this drawing slip for me, and you put your name in for whatever, a free cookbook, right? A season's best is how much? 66 cents for us, or maybe 67. I don't know. They might have gone up. So, but we get them all the time. You can get 10 of them. So, I mean, that's nothing. So you just put in their name in a drawing for a cookbook. And then who wins? Everybody wins. So you call them and you say, oh my God, Jeanette, you won the free cookbook. That is so exciting, right? Oh my God, I can't believe I won something. Of course you did. Well, hey, listen, I do want to send out the new catalog. I know you love Pampered Chef, and thank you so much for working so hard as a nurse. I mean, I can't imagine the things you guys see or do, or, kind of just start that conversation up with them again and making that contact and getting that trust in that person. And you're networking now and you're building that relationship. But now you just probably walked around the hospital, or at least the 3rd floor, or at least that nurse's station, and you got probably about 8 of these in 15 minutes. And when they filled it out, they get a bag of seasonings. And I kind of always laugh because some of our seasonings may look like some weed or something. I don't know. So I always tell them, hey, now, this is a seasoning. This goes on your food. Don't rub that on your face or anything like that, okay? And the reason why we say that is because one of my partners that does this with me, she's a Mary Kay director. So she usually gives out some makeup, and they'll look at my seasoning, and they'll go, is this makeup too? And I'm like, oh, no, babe. This is seasoning. You put this on chicken, not on your face. And we all kind of laugh. So, just have fun with it. And if it's you and yourself, it's you and you're by yourself and you're doing it, again, just have fun, because that's the biggest part. So then the relationship between you and that person will continue to grow. And then what I do is I text them when I get home that evening or that afternoon, because I usually do this in the morning. We usually leave around 9 and we're done by 11. At times we've had 10 names. At times we've had 20 names. Okay, so in 2 hours I've had 20 names. And then I text them. And when I text them, I usually just start off with a, hey, Susie, this is Karen with Pampered Chef. How's it going today? And that's it. And usually they'll text back and they'll say, good. How are you? I'm doing great. You remember whenever you filled out the drawing slip, I mentioned about getting your name put in the drawing for a cookbook. Yes, I do. Well, guess what? You won. Oh my God, that's awesome. What does that mean? Is usually how the conversation will go. And then you can say, okay, well, I will ship you a cookbook if you can just give me your address, or, hey, I'm going to shoot you an electronic cookbook. And you can just put a couple of recipes together. I'll shoot you an electronic cookbook. Give me your email address. I can also add you to my newsletter, which comes out once a month. And you can do this all through texting if that's what you feel like doing. Or if you can say, hey, listen, is there a good time I can call you? Because that person may be at work still. That person may be dealing with the kids. So if you call them, then you can follow up with everything. Does that make sense? Sweet. And the important parts are you have their information and you're making that networking conversation. So you are developing a relationship. Okay. So that is, yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Ashley.
Where do you little baggies?
Michael's.
Perfect.
They're like 50 for $2.99.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. Somebody else?
Yeah, how are you distributing the rubs?
With our tablespoon measuring scoop, the little one with the oblong handle.
So do you put a whole rub in it, or?
No, I put just 1 tablespoon. Oh, okay, I got you. You can't see me. You're on the phone. Okay, gotcha. I have a bag, and I take 1 tablespoon out of whatever seasoning I want, and I'm able to place it into a little bitty plastic bag. And then on the bag, I have a label that has my stamp, which has my name, my email address, and then my phone number. And then I write on it what is the seasoning in there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Kind of give you a picture. And yeah. I could take a picture. I have all kinds of stuff to put on there. I'm going to have to make a little note. I could take a picture of my bag just so you can see. Okay. Mobile on the go bag. Would you guys want to see that mobile on the go bag thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can you post it on the, I don't have video accessibility.
No, I'll post it on our Facebook page, our group Facebook page. So you guys will all be able to see it and watch it. It's just really great. It's neat to be able to have something that has like order forms, your catalogs already there, maybe a quick host packet already there. So, I found out I visited another director's show, and her host packet was super simple and easy. It had like 1 catalog in there, and a couple other things. And I'll post a picture of that too. And super light. And the reason why I said that is because it's light. So your mobile on the go bag doesn't have to be like a big old Rubbermaid and he's like 100 pounds trying to walk us around. And it's not really like mobile or on the go. So, just very light, something simple that you can give to them, and then you can either send them more stuff later. Because that's the deal. You want to give them the catalogs right away if they're booking a show, because you don't have to put that in the mail. You can easily put any of the flyers in the mail. The catalogs are what's heavy and what costs you more. Okay. Okay. I think I am about done, and we have 10 minutes to kill. So I'll open up to any questions, anything that I might have missed, please chime in. And our call to action, we already know that we should hand out our 10 recipes. And as you hand these out, I know a while ago it said 7 out of 10. And so I would start actually tracking your contacts. And I told that, I think, to Kelly, I think it was Kelly that was talking about doing her contacts in her nose. So that's a really great thing to do. So then you actually know your numbers. So if it is 7 out of 10, then you know to get 14 contacts, you need to give out 20, or to get, and you kind of know where your numbers are. So any questions?
Can you say a little more about follow-up?
Talk a little bit more about follow-up. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Like how quickly you recontact them or follow up, and how often?
Okay, so, and the reason I say that because I like this little other training that I kind of learned on. So how quickly? If I'm doing the pamper a business, I'm doing it that evening. Okay, because I want to get it kind of while it's like they were excited, we pampered them, they feel so special. I want to get to them that evening. So, and that's just to get either some more information from them, to get their email address, see if there's anything you can help them out with. Can you get them ordered something? You know, can we talk a little bit more about hosting a party? Let's talk on the phone. So, but I will text them that evening, and then we'll go into a conversation to try to give them a call. If I told them I was going to call them, so I'm out and about, you're out and about, and you're giving your 10 recipes out, okay? And when I gave you that script a while ago, it says, I can give you a call back when you have more time, okay? What I usually follow up with that is, does tomorrow evening sound good? Or is tomorrow around 7:30 sound great? So 2 things with that. 1, whenever time it is, make sure you already know that it's available. Meaning, before you even start your conversation and being intentional about your business, know your schedule. Because at 7:30 tomorrow, if I'm going to church, I can't call at 7:30 tomorrow. So I don't need to say that. But if I know I'm good on Thursday at 11 in the morning, that's probably what needs to be in my head. So I'm ready to say, I can give you a call back when you have more time. How does Thursday at 11 a.m. sound? Oh no, I work full time. Okay, so how does Thursday evening around 7? Is that okay? That sounds great. Perfect. I will call you on Thursday at 11. Okay? Perfect. You know what I'm saying? I just want to confirm with them that's when I'm calling them. Okay, so when you're doing other follow-ups, there's a rule. It's called 222, right? So just like I just kind of started trying to implement this with my shows. So when you have a show, call everybody 2 days after your show. And that's why, because it's kind of like the morning after calls, where we want to make sure that everything, that they ordered everything, or they don't want to, or if they want to add something new to their order. So we just want to make sure, and especially if you're on the Direct Ship Now program, it's best to do that. So you can go ahead and close out that order for sure and send it on. Okay, so you want to call. So 2 days after, and then you're going to do 2 weeks after. And with the direct ship, that kind of works out perfectly because about 2 weeks, they'll have all their items, right? Okay, so then whenever you call on this call, you're actually saying, hey, Susie, it's Karen with Pampered Chef. It's been about 2 weeks. Have you received your products? I sure did, Karen, thank you. Have you opened the box? I did, awesome, perfect. How did you like that veggie spiralizer? Have you used it yet? No, oh my God, what is it? What's wrong? Let me help you out. Is there anything I can help you out with it? Yes, this. Okay, good. Or pull it out. Let's walk it through right now. So you make sure they got everything out of the box. If you've been a consultant for a while, we used to have those out of the box calls, right? That's kind of the same thing. So we're calling them in the 2 weeks period to see if they got everything out of the box. So the next time we talk to them is in 2 months. So 2 months later, and that's because now we're calling to see if we can help them out with something. Are they enjoying that product? Is it broken? Is there something they need a replacement part for? Maybe they bought the garlic press, and how many of you guys have lost that Barbie brush? Like a gazillion times, okay? So maybe they need a new Barbie brush. So they can buy that, so you can put them in a replacement product. Maybe they bought pantry items. And if you have the garlic rub like me or the sweet basil, I'm gonna use that stuff up probably within 2 months. I need to order some more. So you're calling them to see if they need anything extra. And that's kind of how I would do with my follow-up. And then you can just put them in the back and then just kind of, you know, and it's in about 6 months, 7 months, just kind of do a repeat with 2 months. You don't want to call them every 2 months. Just your new contacts, you want to do the 2, 2, and 2. Does that answer that question?
It did. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, anyone else? Okay, I'm just gonna, oops, no, I can't, sorry. I was gonna grab a book, but I am looking, Gordon. Oh, here we go, okay. I am trying to find an energy bus. All right, how many of you guys ever heard of the energy bus? Nobody? All right. So this was a book by John Gordon, and I absolutely loved it. It talks about getting on the energy bus and how to be energetic and how to be positive. And I think that is definitely the key with this business is to be positive and to have fun. One of the things, of course, that it talks about is repetition is the key. And the more you focus on positive energy, the more it becomes your natural state. So if you don't have the book, it's a really quick read. And it is super, super fun to read it. And then we always give out these little tickets that says, you're invited to join my bus. So, but I'm going to give you the 10 rules for the ride of your life. Because with Pampered Chef, you can have this as the ride of your life, and it can do anything that you need it to do. Okay, so number 1, you're the driver of the bus. So your bus can go anywhere you want it to go. But you have to take action. Okay, number 2. This is a long one, so I don't know if I want to write it all. So desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. So you'll hear us a lot of times talking about vision. So if you have the desire, create the vision and use your focus to move your bus. Okay. So number 3, fuel your ride with positive energy. If you have negative energy and you're surrounded by negative people, or you say you can't do something, you will not do it. So the word can't needs to come out of your vocabulary. Don't say I can't recruit. If that's what you're saying to yourself, take it out of there. You can recruit. If you can't find a host or find bookings, take it out of your vocabulary. You can find a host. Just haven't found them yet. So that's what we're looking for. That's why we're prospecting. We're finding our hostesses. So number 4, invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. So this is where we build our team. We're inviting the people on our bus, and we're sharing them with the vision, or we're sharing them our vision, and we're moving ahead. Don't waste your energy on those who don't get on the bus. So it's okay. You don't want to get on my bus? That's all right. Keep on moving. All right, so number 6, post a sign that says no energy vampires allowed on the bus. And this is kind of fun. If you have a team and you read the book, you'll kind of see why. But again, you want to keep positive energy around you. So no energy vampires. Number 7, enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them on the ride. We all ridden a bus, maybe one time when you were in school and you rode a school bus, or maybe back and forth to work. If you're excited about something, people will join you. People will give you their name at the grocery store if you are excited. Not scary excited, just excited. Number 8, love your passengers. So love everybody that's on your bus. So if I'm at a show, they're all on my bus at that moment. And I love everybody. So number 9, drive with a purpose. So again, we have a vision. So that vision is driving us toward our purpose. And number 10, which is my favorite, have fun and enjoy the ride. Because with Pampered Chef, if we are doing all this stuff and we have our full show calendar and we are recruiting and we're having so much fun, and you're going to recruit when you have fun, and you're going to book shows when you have fun, you will be enjoying the ride. How's that?
Can you repeat number 5, please?
Sure can. Don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. And I can post that too. So it's just some rules of life to ride, be positive, have fun. And I know it's past 1 minute past, so I just kind of want to, if no one has any questions, that is it, Dana. I'll open up for one more time for questions. Anyone? Comments? Concerns?
Thank you.
No? Thank you guys. Hopefully it was
Thank you so much.
informational.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, so make sure you know the challenge. Do your contacts. 10 this week. I'm gonna check in all y'all. All right. Good night, guys.
Hey, Karen.
Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions?
Somebody posted, what if you really can't recruit?
Because she can.
I told her.
Because she can recruit. Because I was there too, and now I'm getting out of it. So you'll get it. Get your why. I guarantee you, Shay. Get your why back, and you'll get it.
Oh, I lost my mojo.
Get your shoujo back.
Get your mojo back, and that will also be a call on this fantastic journey we are all on together.
Right. Exactly. I can send you some emails from, or I'll try to post them all, some articles that Yolanda sent me about my why. Because I did not have a why for a very long time after I got out of the military. Because that was my why, was to stay home with my kids. And now I had it. I was like, what next? So I floundered and I didn't know. But now I have it. And it could be just, and you have a huge why, Shay. You have your kids and your new baby that you're adopted, big baby. So, but think about your why, because you have to figure that out. Yes, I'm looking.
Why are
at
you guys all staring at me?
I'm looking at you. Shay. I'm looking at you.
Because you're cute.
You are cute.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I gotta go. Thank you so much for the call, Karen. I'm gonna hang up now.
All right, bye guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Does anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, cool. You want to end it, Dana? Or Dina? You're on mute.
We can't hear you. You're muted.
You're muted.